Shakalaka, what's going on, everybody? Randall here from Crypto Love. And today's episode, I have an interview with the man himself, Charlie Lee, the creator of Litecoin and now managing director of the Litecoin Foundation. Now, this interview is excerpted from the Binance Charity Poker Cup. But pretty good interview. I chatted with Charlie Lee, the man himself. I know, what a legend. And I'll even show you a picture of me meeting Charlie Lee last year, and just because I had a big beard in the picture. And in this interview, we are going to be talking about the Litecoin Halvening at length, which is pretty exciting because it's coming up in less than 2 months. Also, we'll be talking about how Charlie got into crypto, even why he doesn't use dApps. So if you want to, make sure you check out the whole interview. Also, I've timestamped everything down in the description. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.
Charlie, how you doing?
Hey, what's up? Can you see me?
Perfectly.
Yeah, perfect. So, welcome. How's your poker game been so far?
Not so good. Well, actually, my game is awesome, but the cards aren't that good. So.
We'll have to
blame the cards, sure.
So, Charlie, a lot of talk recently about Litecoin with the halvening coming up. So, what do you think about the future of Litecoin and this halvening? What do you think it's going to do?
You're talking about the price?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you could talk about price. You could talk about whatever, because I saw you tweeted the other day about how even miners will be able to continue mining because with getting energy under 5 cents, they should be able to do that. So what do you think the impact of this halving is going to have on Litecoin?
Well, the halvening is always kind of a shock to the system, right? So when the mining rewards get cut in half, some miners will not be profitable, and they will shut off their machine, right? So if like a big percentage of the network does that, then blocks will slow down for some time. For Litecoin, it's 3.5 days before the next change, so possibly like 7 days of like slower blocks, and then after that, the difficulty will readjust and everything will be fine. But it's definitely a shock to the system. So, and in terms of like the price, I mean, the halvening should be priced in because everyone knows about it like since the beginning, right? But the thing is, people kind of expect the price to go up. So a lot of people are buying in because they expect the price to go up, and that's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. So because they're buying in, the price actually does go up because of that. So I think we're seeing a bit of that today. It's hard to predict what happens because I've seen like Bitcoin halvening, I've seen the last Litecoin halvening. Things are not always, it doesn't follow a specific pattern.
Okay. Yeah, so this is Litecoin's second halvening, where Bitcoin's already had 3.
Correct.
Do you think they follow the same trends?
Bitcoin has 2.
2 and a third coming up in May. Yeah. Do you think they're going to follow the same type of pattern, or do you think they're different beasts?
I think they're pretty different, right? So it depends on the macroeconomics of crypto at the time, right? And I think the price will go up in the long term. Where like how it moves short term, it's anyone's guess.
Okay, gotcha. So last October, I met you at the Litecoin Summit. I'm not sure if you recognize me. I had a much bigger beard then, but anyways. It was an awesome conference. It was one of my favorite conferences I've ever been to.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I found that it was just awesome. It felt like very community focused, and everybody was very friendly. You had great talks there, great vendors, and everything. So you have another Litecoin Summit coming up soon. What are your plans for this one?
Yeah, we have the next one is in Vegas in end of October. Yeah, it's lots of big stuff's happening. Like we invited quite a few non-crypto people, like people from different sports, to talk about crypto. So there's a lot of cool stuff happening.
Awesome. All right. So I think a lot of people noted how back in December or January you called the very height of the bubble. Or maybe you did not intentionally call it, but you said, guys, watch out because this is getting out of control. Don't be shocked if things tend to go downwards. I think this was one of your really great predictions where you said Litecoin could go back to $20, and I think it went to 22 at the bottom. So that was
wow.
Yeah, that was a pretty impressive call. So since you called the top of the crypto bubble, are you going to do the same thing for the bottom?
Well, I think we bottomed that already. So at least I hope.
There you have it, everybody. We've already bottomed.
Yeah. So I mean, the call was just, I was just warning people because of all the kind of the FOMO and the hype that crypto is really risky, right? I've seen many bear markets or crashes that are 90% down, right? So at the time, Litecoin was 200, and I just said it can drop to $20, and don't be surprised if it does, right? And what happens is when the price does crash, it shakes off all the weak hands, right? Everyone who bought in at 200 or higher will sell like at 20, right? And they're losing 90% of their portfolio. So my point was that if you can't withstand a 90% drop, then don't buy in because it's too risky for you, right? And a lot of people actually bought in at high, but they didn't sell at 20, and now it's at 130, right? So it's like a roller coaster.
Yeah, definitely a fun roller coaster. So how long have you been in crypto?
Since April of 2011.
Okay. And what got you interested in it?
I read an article about Silk Road, about how Silk Road was only accepting Bitcoin, and I immediately saw the potential of Bitcoin being like good, sound money, right? It's very similar to gold, but better because it's cheaper to send and cheaper to hold.
Yeah.
So
and it's like the ultimate. It's like the ultimate bug out money, because like if you need to leave your country, you can't really leave with gold, but you remember your seed key, you can leave a Bitcoin, or you just hide a ledger somewhere.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, sorry to keep interrupting, but as a matter of fact, an 18-karat gold 00 artist-proof Litecoin Foundation ledger, you could hide one of those somewhere.
Thanks to you, Charlie. Now, quick question: do you know the actual worth of that 18-karat gold one? Because I couldn't find the exact price.
It's hard to say because we sell the regular one for, I think, 15,000. Let me check the website, but somewhere around that. So this one is a special one. It's an artist proof. It's the first one we made to kind of to show that that we can actually do it, right? And it says artist proof 00 on it. So we made 50 total, numbered 01 to 50, and this one is the first one. So artist proofs normally go for more than regular ones because they're pretty special.
Wow.
All right. So your brother is Bobby Lee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he predicts a $333,000 Bitcoin by 2021. Do you agree with that? Do you guys talk about this type of stuff?
I don't agree with that. I mean, I don't think it's good to try to predict prices because no one really knows. Right.
Okay.
So
what about a $333,000 Litecoin?
That's definitely going to happen.
All right. Yeah. So what's coming up for Litecoin other than the halvening and the summit? What are you guys working on?
So we're working on exploring adding privacy to Litecoin. So the current kind of idea is to look into Mimblewimble and add it as a extended block. So soft fork it and using extended block. We're working on that. Nothing to announce yet when that will come out, but slow and steady.
Okay, wonderful. And so, what's your strategy when playing poker?
Try to win.
That's always a good one.
What's my strategy?
Well, you're not doing too good at the moment.
Yeah. Well, the thing about poker is you have to be patient, right? You have to kind of not play every hand, right? So people have a tendency to play any decent hand because it gets boring if you don't, right? You just have to like fold everything. So the strategy is to kind of, in the long run, is to just play when you have a good hand and try to maximize winnings when you actually have a hand, right? And pick your optimal time to bluff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. You're the second contestant today to mention patience, especially when you're playing with so many people.
Yeah, I mean, that's also why like professional poker players online, they play like 9 tables at a time, right? So that there's always some action going on. So you're not just waiting and doing nothing for a long time.
I'm actually more curious to hear more about your day-to-day life and how you organize your time, because most of us, in crypto, work from home, and most of us that are watching actually, have some sort of home-based office, or maybe they do some online jobs, so they already have a home office. So like, how do you organize your day-to-day life? Do you feel comfortable sharing more about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky enough to now be able to work from home the whole time, right? I don't have to go into the office. I don't have to report to anyone else. So that's very nice to kind of work on what I'm passionate about, and not have to worry about doing what other people want me to do. So it's nice. You wake up and you just come to my home office and start working. I try to do whatever things come up, right? So whether it's like development work, or whether it's meeting, or just working on different projects. There's a lot of stuff going on, and just try to handle everything. It can become quite hectic, but we use like Slack to try to organize everything, so that's very useful.
Mm-hmm. And what did you do before Litecoin? So
I was at Coinbase for 4 years. From 2013 to 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I joined Coinbase when it was as like the 5th employee, or including the founders, right? The second engineer.
Mm-hmm.
So back then it was really tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. And did you ever think when you started Litecoin that it would turn into the coin that it is today?
Not at all, right? So when I started Litecoin, it was kind of just for fun, right? I was playing around with the Bitcoin code base, and there were quite a few other altcoins out there already. And I just kind of decided to do something and try to do it better than what's out there. So it was launched fairly quickly, like within a week or two, and didn't expect much of it, right? And I guess the surprising thing is when I launched Litecoin, Bitcoin's market cap was like $100 million. The whole market cap of Bitcoin was $100 million. And now Litecoin is like over 50 times Bitcoin's market cap back then, which is pretty crazy if you think about it that way.
Mm-hmm. So I guess you far surpassed any type of expectation you could have even had back then.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons why Litecoin was successful when others failed is because of how I launched it in a fair manner, like no pre-mine. I mined it the same as anyone else, right? And no ICO, no pre-mine, nothing. It's just pretty similar to Bitcoin. Even more interesting than Bitcoin, whereas Bitcoin, for the first year, there was only like 1 or 2 people mining it, right? It was Satoshi and maybe Halvening and someone else, possibly. Whereas Litecoin, when I launched it, I pre-announced it before I launched it, and people were I think there were over a few thousand people mining at launch time. And then it just grew from there.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever get to meet some of those early miners? Like when you have meetups or anything like that? You ever run into them?
People have came up to me and said they were there when Litecoin was launched. And I mean, it's pretty cool to actually be there. I mean, this was like 8 years ago. It was fun times.
That's awesome.
One of the last questions I was just really curious to ask. Do you use any blockchain platforms yourself right now? Any games or dApps, like as a hobby? Or do you see that they're not mature yet?
No, honestly, I don't use much of the dApps or the blockchain platforms. I think blockchain is really well suited for money because it's expensive, right? It's inefficient to have a blockchain. It's like an inefficient database. So the reason why you would need it is if you want something like censorship resistance or immutability. So the reason why you see like gambling kind of apps on blockchain succeeding right now is because those are the apps that actually need the censorship resistance and the kind of the immutability, right? So it can help predict or do like card games where it's provably
fair.
What do you call it? Provably fair, right?
Yeah.
And also it can't be shut down by governments, right? So whereas like right now, I think it's really hard for you to play poker online with fiat currency, right? So using crypto, it's possible. And I think games like poker there's no reason why those should be banned or illegal. I mean, it's game of skill and you're just playing, right? That's my opinion, but.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's definitely, I mean, it's awesome to have you here. I'm sure a whole bunch of people are really excited to be able to see you, to hear what you have to say. And best of luck in the rest of the tournament. And if it's working for you, keep bluffing.